Where's Linda? Is she around someplace? Linda McMahon? Yes. Thank you. Where? There? Thanks, Linda, for joining us today. She's doing an incredible job helping small businesses just like you. Or some of you, I know you. You're not that small. I hate to tell you. You're not small. A lot of people would like to be small, right, Cam? They'd like to be small like these small business people, but they're great people, employ a lot of people, and what they do through community development is amazing. Community banks are the backbone of small business in America. Many of you are the reason that young families can purchase their first homes, farmers can buy their next tractor, and entrepreneurs can open up their first business, creating many, many new jobs in our country. It's so true. Community banks. Over half of the small business and loans going to small business, and it's really a substantial number higher than that, come from their community banker. You provide critical access to capital, especially for the rural communities. That's why in the first 100 days, I have taken action to roll back burdensome regulations that undermine community banks. Especially, I know you're going to be very disappointed at this Dodd-Frank, right? No, it's out of control. And by the way, not only for community banks, for banks, period. We can take community out of that one, right? Now, Dodd-Frank, we're working on that right now, and you'll see a very big difference because you want to get out and make our country work properly. I've directed my administration to provide regulatory reform and relief so that those rules don't shut down community banks, which have been shutting down, and small businesses, and put them on a competitive disadvantage against the larger institutions. That's what it's done. It's really made you and given you such a tremendous competitive disadvantage. I have friends that are community bankers, and they've gone through hell over the last long period of time. It's really a much longer period of time than people would understand. I've also directed Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin to review damaging Dodd-Frank regulations that encourage risky behavior from Wall Street. Everybody knows what that means. We're also working to achieve tax reform and dramatically lower taxes on businesses and the middle class. We're proposing one of the largest tax cuts in history, even larger than that of President Ronald Reagan. Our tax cut is bigger. My administration is committed to working with each and every one of you to help Americans achieve their financial dreams so that, look, we're all here for the same thing. You know, we have a statement. It's really, I like it much better than even your hat. It says, "Make America Great Again." And that's what we all want, right? We want to all make it great again, and that's what's going to happen. So I want to thank you all for being here. Very, very special people. You do a very, very special job, and the community really understands it. I know community bankers are the most popular person in their community, and they've built communities, and they've really been so badly hurt over the last number of years. So we're going to change that. We're going to change regulations. We're going to give the incentives back, and you're going to grow and thrive and prosper. And maybe even more importantly, you're going to have businesses all over the country growing and thriving and prospering. So I want to thank you for being here. It's a great honor. And you will see things happening like you've never seen before. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I have my own hat. That it? Take one? Or not? This way,
Smart. bad loans, please. No bad loans.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain in your seats until the President and Vice President have departed the Kennedy Garden.
I know he's here. I've seen him.
Thank you all. Thank you. On behalf of the First Family, welcome to the White House. It's great to have you here on this breezy day in the Kennedy Garden and to be able to talk with all of you about the extraordinary difference that independent community bankers make in the life of America's economy and the life of America's families every day. The President will be joining us in just a few minutes, but I have the great privilege of being able to share just a few thoughts about the President's priorities and the gratitude that we all feel for the leadership and the support that each of you provide. But first, let me invite you to give one more round of applause for Linda McMahon and the great job she is doing at the Small Business Administration. We are all glad for her tireless work for job creators. I grew up in a small business family in a small town in southern Indiana, and I can tell you that having an entrepreneur and an American success story like Linda McMahon as our administrator at the SBA is already making a difference in the life of our economy, and we're truly grateful for all of her work. I want to thank all the members of the Independent Community Bankers of America who are here since 1930. The ICBA has given voice to small and community banks all across America. As a testament of your impact, today you boast more than 5,800 members all across the greatest nation on earth. Give yourselves a round of applause. That is an incredible impact. And your businesses, I know firsthand, your businesses are pillars of the community. You can't go to a softball game, you can't stand in the bleachers at a basketball game without seeing your banners hanging and supporting every worthy cause in every community where you live. All told, community banks are also big-time employers. 760,000 people work each and every day issuing loans to a stunning $3.2 trillion in value to working families, small businesses, and family farms. You might be small and community banks, but you have a big impact on a growing American economy. I want to thank your ICBA leadership, Cam Fines, Scott Heidkamp, Tim Zimmerman, and Preston Kennedy for putting today's event together. I know the President is really looking forward to greeting you and welcoming you here. Your tireless work and hallways of your banks. The President knows what all of us know. When community banks are strong, America is strong. President, many times talk about the challenges facing businesses all across this country in the financial crunch that we have faced in recent years. The President, I know, is personally committed to helping you succeed and to break down the barriers that you face. And I can promise you, under President Donald Trump, Dodd-Frank's days are numbered. I don't have to tell you about the harmful effects of this failed law. Dodd-Frank restricts your customers' choices, their freedom to make financial choices that are best for them, their families, and their businesses. It creates a two-class system for banks. It truly does. A one for big and one for small. It erodes accountability and gives bureaucrats more control over your business. More than 22,000 pages of red tape have already been issued under Dodd-Frank, costing money, time, and resources that oftentimes community banks just don't have to spare. Since Dodd-Frank was passed 7 years ago, it's heartbreaking to think that America has lost more than 1,500 small banks. and only 5 new banks have opened in the wake of the passage of this failed law. The damage, of course, doesn't end at the doorways of your banks. Dodd-Frank is costing our economy in almost incalculable ways, hurting working families, small businesses, and family farms that depend on the services that each one of you provide. The burden, I know, falls heaviest on small businesses, the engines of the American economy and the drivers of job creation. We see great enthusiasm in the American economy since President Trump raised his right hand 102 days ago. But you all know that enthusiasm, that willingness to take risks among our small business owners and family farmers has got to be met with resources. And the ability of our small and community banks to be able to provide those resources in an orderly way so that America can grow in big cities and small towns is essential to our ongoing success. Your banks do a lion's share of small business lending, and unfortunately the share of loans going to small businesses has dropped by more than a third under Dodd-Frank. That's all about to change. The simple truth of the matter is that the policies that have advanced from the last administration simply can't continue. So dismantling Dodd-Frank is a major part of the President's legislative agenda, and we will get it done. In February, President Trump issued an executive order on what he called the core principles for regulating the United States financial system, and I know you're all familiar with it. He laid out a vision for real reform that will ensure the integrity of our financial services in this country while still being able to fuel economic growth. The President is determined, along with our entire administration, to seek a system that fosters economic growth and vibrant financial markets, empowers families to make their own financial decisions, enables companies to be competitive here across the world as they do business, and restores accountability and transparency to the federal bureaucracy. To that end, the President ordered our Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin, to evaluate every federal law and regulation in light of this vision, and that work is going forward vigorously. The President, I know, is truly grateful for the leadership in Congress that will be working with our administration in the days ahead, but special thanks to Congressman Jeb Hensarling, the chairman of the House Financial Services Committee, for his strong leadership, turning the page on Dodd-Frank and bringing it once and for all to an end. His Choice Act, we believe, is an enormously important step toward real reform and would unburden community banks and spur growth. The Choice Act is a common sense bill that repeals Dodd-Frank and empowers consumers and businesses, not bureaucrats and lawyers. Our administration will continue to work with Chairman Hensarling and the rest of Congress on this vital issue. I promise you that. We're already making some progress, and I promise you, with President Trump in the Oval Office, we're going to get the job done and unleash the boundless potential of the American economy with our community and independent banks helping to drive that recovery. This is absolutely one of the President's top priorities, and he wanted me to come out here today and make sure and share the substance of that with all of you. And I just would say, it, you know, as I close, that it's a joy to see all of you. Some of you remember me back in the day when I was a member of Congress fighting against Dodd-Frank. You can imagine how humbling it is for me to be standing before you today here at the White House as Vice President to a President who understands the American economy and is going to take America back in the direction of the policies that will ensure a boundless economic future. It's incredible. And you all have been a part of it. You've been a part of continuing to make this case and carrying this case forward to the American people, and we're all grateful. But I just want to encourage you. I do believe your buttons are right. America loves community banks. In small-town America and medium-sized cities all across America, you're the difference makers. You're the folks that don't so much look at a balance sheet, but you look people in the face. Because it's not a matter of seeing forms filled out. It's a matter of people that you know. You see them walking up and down the street. You see him at places of worship. You see him at ball games. Each and every day you make decisions not so much by running a calculator, but by calculating in your heart who that person is and the character of the men and women that are building the enterprises of your communities. My dad's gone now about 30 years. My dad ran a small business, a gas station business in a small town, but I know how he spoke about our local bankers and the ability that they gave him and his come true every day for working families, for small businesses. And I just want you to know from the bottom of my heart, we have a president who knows that too. We have a president who has lived the American dream. And we have a president who understands the vital role that our community banks play in ensuring that every American has a chance to live that dream as well. So with that, I'll step off the stage, and the next voice you hear will be the President of the United States of America. So stay tuned.
I'm so shaky, I had to wind up.
Check test. Do you hear this? You want to hear this? Loose. You put this on another line.
I have your cue, Peter. I'm doing Greg's job too.
just sitting in the ballroom doors by myself waiting for you guys. And then someone was like, I think they are here and there. And I was like, oh, lovely. Oh, great. Oh, he already talked to me.
That's on him. What frequency you guys on? Are you hardwired now?
We're 652.
Just wondering, it sounds like somebody's stepping on him.
He's 486.
486? That's not even close.